Graphing on a coordinate plane, part 1. In today's lesson, students will use what they know about integers to graph coordinates on the coordinate plane. On what? Very good. We all recognize this as a number line. What is this? Very good. And what you'll notice about the number line is that this is horizontal, which means it goes side to side. So what goes side to side? What kind of a line? A horizontal line. That's right. So instead of calling this the number line, and remember, a number line has 0 in the middle, positive integers to the right, and negative integers to the left. So instead of calling this a number line, it actually has a name. Okay, you're going to put an X next to a horizontal number line. And now this is called the x-axis. What is it called? Very good. Now what happens when you take a horizontal number line, and we're going to call it the x-axis, and then you put a vertical number line. Vertical means up and down. What does vertical mean? Very good. Notice that this axis has 0 in the middle. The positive numbers go up. The positive numbers go what? And the negative numbers go down. Okay? Now, the horizontal line is the x-axis, but the vertical line is the, who knows? Anybody? Really? You guys, it's the y-axis. The y-axis. You can remember the y-axis because the letter Y, if you take a look at it, it stands straight up, just like a vertical line, up and down. So let's check to see if you understand. The x-axis, is it horizontal or vertical? Show me with your arms. X-axis, like this? Yes, goes side to side. Now, when you have a y-axis, it goes vertical. When you have an x-axis and you have a y-axis, you have made the coordinate plane. When you see a coordinate plane, you're going to put your arms like the axes and you're going to sing this song. The coordinate plane has 4 quadrants used to graph the coordinates x and y. Okay? So, let's try it one more time. Let's do it slowly. Big surprise, you have to sing a song for everything I teach you. You gotta get used to it. Okay, you're gonna say, the coordinate plane has 4 quadrants used to graph the coordinates x and y. Come on, one more time. One more time! It's only Tuesday, guys. Everyone stand up. Let's go. Marissa. Okay, here we go. Say, the coordinate plane has 4 quadrants used to graph the coordinates x and y. So let's learn about the 4 quadrants of a coordinate plane. Let's talk about the first quadrant. And this is quadrant 1. Quadrant what? Quadrant 1. That's correct. And so if you don't know Roman numerals, this is the number 1. Now, in quadrant number 1, I want you to take a look at the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, what do you notice about the integers? Okay, the integers that go horizontal are positive, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you go up, they are also positive. So, you have positive integers on the x-axis. So I just want to point something out. When you're talking about a coordinate pair, the first letter or number that goes is x. Then you have a comma. A what? A comma. Very good. Now, when you're talking about the y-axis, those numbers are also positive. So, you have a positive numbers for x and positive numbers for y. Okay? So that is quadrant 1. Let's move over to quadrant 2. So quadrant 1 is going to be on the top right. On the top what? The top right. Now, when we move to the left, this is now quadrant 2. Let's take a look at quadrant 2. Now, what always will come first is the x-axis. Okay? So when you look at the numbers on the x-axis, what do you notice about these integers? Are they negative or positive? What are they? They're negative. Okay? So the negative number would come first, which would be on the x-axis. And when you go up on the y-axis, are the numbers positive or negative when you go up? Well, generally, each time you go up, that's a positive thing. So you're going to have positive numbers for the y-axis. Are you following me, my friends? Are you sure? Moving on. Then we're just going to move right down to the lower left. This is quadrant 3. What quadrant is it? Quadrant number 3. Very good. So first you ask yourself, what are the integers on the left side of the x-axis? Are they positive or negative? Negative. What? Negative. Yes, they're negative. So your x would be negative. What about y? It's going down. Where is it going? I'm going down. I'm going down. Okay, so it's going down. And down is always negative, right? It's a negative thing. So you have positive and, negative and negative. So this is a situation where you have two negative integers as your coordinate pair. The pair is x and y, okay? Last quadrant, what do you think it's going to be, friends? It's going to be number 4. Number 4. All right, so 4 in Roman numerals is 1 with a V, okay? This is the number 4. In quadrant 4, you have, start with which axis? Always what is this? It's the x-axis, always start. So these are positive or negative numbers, my friends. They are positive numbers. Those are your x's. Then you look right here at the y-axis. And here the y's go down. So that means that they are what? Positive or negative? Negative. Thank you. So, knowing the quadrants will help you to graph coordinate pairs. Now, we can learn how to graph coordinate pairs on a coordinate plane. A coordinate pair is going to have an integer that is on the x-axis, that will be a point, and also on the y-axis. But the pair itself makes 1 point. How many points? 1 point. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at R, okay, because a lot of times the coordinate point has a letter to represent that pair, okay? So if you look at positive 1 and positive 5, and how do I know they're positive? It's because there's nothing in front of them, fool. Nothing. It makes it positive. Okay, you just assume it's positive. That's always a good way to think. So you have 1 and 5. So we start on which axis always? Which one did I teach you first? The x-axis. And where would be 1 on the x-axis? Right here, right? So first you start at the x-axis, and you want to go to positive 5 on the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. You're at 1. You're going to go up 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this point is now 1, 5, or R. Okay? Let's take a look. Now, what quadrant is this in? Do we remember? Quadrant 1, where both the numbers of the pair, or the integers, are positive. Let's take a look at P. You have a negative 3 and 4. So if you start on right? The x-axis, and you start with -3, okay? You are at -3, but it tells you to go up how many? 4. So you start at 3, go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is -3, 4. We have 2 more coordinate pairs. Okay, if you take a look at B. B says, read it with me, -5, comma, -2. So start always with which axis? The x-axis. And then you're either going to go up or down. That's your decision. You start on the x-axis. You're going to start at -5. That's right here. Are you going to go up or down if you want -2? You're going to go down. Okay, you're going to go down. So you're at -5. You're going to go down 2. 1, 2. This point right here is -5, -2. Okay? So this was in quadrant 1. This was in quadrant 2. Which quadrant is this in? 3. And what a surprise that our next coordinate point is going to be in quadrant 4. Okay? So you start with 4 on the x-axis, and then you're going to go down how many? 2. So going down, you're going to start at 4, go down 1, 2. So here you are. That is 4, -2. Now that is how you will take an coordinate pair or an ordered pair, this is another word for that, is an ordered pair, and use that to graph points on a coordinate plane. So now let's do the reverse. The reverse is when you are given a point on the coordinate plane, and you need to tell me what is the ordered pair, right? What is the coordinate pair? So let's go ahead and start in quadrant 1. Now you're going to have graph paper, so it's going to be a lot easier to see this. But if you take a look at this point in quadrant 1, okay, on the x-axis, where does it start? At 4, right? And it goes up how many? How many? 1. So we call this ordered pair 4, 1. Okay? Next, let's go to quadrant 2. You're going to start at the x-axis. What did you start with? Look where it is. It's right underneath -2. So you're at -2 on the x-axis, and you went up how many? -2, you go up 1, 2, 3. So who knows what the ordered pair is? It is -2. How many did you go up? 3. Okay. Now we're in quadrant 3. Always have to start with the horizontal x-axis. You are at which number? Which negative integer? -3. And you go down 1, 2, 3. Remember, when you go down, it's negative. So this ordered pair is -3, -3. All right? Last point for the day, actually last but not least, this one's actually very important, but we'll do this one first. In quadrant 4, what integer do you start with? You're at 5, and then you're going to go down how many? Let's look. 1, 2, 3. So this ordered pair, read it with me, is 5, 3. Remember, x comes first, and then y. Y tells you to go up or down. X tells you to go left or right, okay, depending on if it's positive or negative. The last thing I want to talk about, which we'll talk extensively about later, is the center. Where do the lines intersect, or the axes intersect? This point, what is that point? Is it at 0? Yes. Does it go up or down? No. So this is called the origin. The what? The origin. And the origin is the center where the x and y axes meet, and this is simply 0, 0. Now you can practice graphing coordinate pairs on the coordinate plane.